Hello, how are you? It's Tuesday. I'm back on Facebook Live, and I wanted to talk a little more today about a couple of the elements in the five elements philosophy that I've been talking about all week. I have already told you a bit about this philosophy and paradigm, and I realize I just want to clarify it kind of encompasses everything, that's why we can talk about the seasons or the creative process or place in life, puberty and aging and dying. And so if it seems like it's all over the place, well, it's because it's really explaining the relationships between everything in nature and within ourself, within our body. And what I've been so fascinated about lately is kind of like the mindset and the psychological evolution of consciousness that can come from just being aware of how you relate to each of these elements within your daily life and within how you're showing up in the world. So there's an original video a few days back, an overview on the five elements, but I just wanted to kind of clarify that I'm really into integrating it into how we can improve our quality of life. So it's a lot of what I'm talking about. And today I'm going to talk about the earth element and the metal element. We're going to do two elements. I think they're related, and you will see why. I mean, everything is related. I just kind of blurted that out already, but I'll tell you a little bit about each, the earth and the metal element, some of the strengths, some of the challenges, and then some kind of ideas to ponder and some little simple remedies that you can bring into your daily life or into your deep thoughts, into your daydreaming, and see if they help you set healthy boundaries and let go of the stuff that's no longer serving you. So the earth element. It's like yellow and orange. It's related to digestion, and it's related to not just your physical digestion, though we see a lot of that in the clinic, digestive disorders. It's really related to how you digest the world, how you take in what you are experiencing. And so this earth energy is really related to your mother, or that feeling of a preschool teacher, just someone that's always serving others and caring for the people around them. And a lot of healthcare practitioners have a whole lot of earth energy too. They're just they really, it's the energy is really nourishing and grounding and secure and stable. And in that creative cycle I expressed my own personal interest in, it really has to do with the harvest, the manifestation. We talked about the wood energy being the idea and the fire energy being the action. Well, the earth energy is you get what you've been doing, it's coming to fruition. It's the late fall. It's when all the fruits of your labor are apparent. So the earth energy sounds awesome. It really is. I mean, everybody likes to be around that mom energy, someone that's taking care of them. But some of the challenges of the earth energy is that they can get stuck, all they do is care for other people, and suddenly that's the only thing they can do. And so one of the side effects of that might look like you're worrying all the time about things you really can't control, worrying about, well, so many things you can't control, right? Worry, it affects your stomach, it makes you feel sick, and you can also be kind of earth energy can be a little needy. They need sympathy. They want everybody to feel bad that they work so hard serving others. But the truth is, the path to regulate this earth energy is really about learning to set healthy boundaries. It's, recognizing what we already learned in the wood element is that choice is absolute truth. And then manifesting that in our lives means, being willing to say no to what you don't want to do, so you can say yes to what's really important to you. It's setting boundaries so we have freedom. It's in yoga, how you gotta pull your shins close together so that your hips will open. It's just a requirement that we recognize, in each given moment. Am I choosing this because it's bringing me closer to who I really want to be, or am I doing this only to serve others? And often there's a gray line there. And so really learning to regulate your earth element is a beautiful thing and like an ever-going cycle of life. You know, you have to keep on seeing what you created and deciding, you know, what's working for you and what's not. So I love this saying, if it's not a yes, it's a no. And it brings me to this thought in our culture about how everybody just wants to please everybody else, or at least say yes, even though saying yes might mean you can do something, but doesn't mean you really want to do something. So my invitation is, instead of just saying yes, yes, I can do that, yes, I'll help you, yes, yes, sign me up. Instead of saying all that, let's make no our default answer, right? Like, let's say no first, or let me think about that, and just like go back and check in with yourself and, you know, just confirm. Am I making this choice because it feels right and powerful, or am I making this choice, you know, to please somebody else? Because at the end of the day, the remedy for earth imbalances and digestive concerns and feeling overwhelmed, the earth element, like feeling really overwhelmed, is often just simply because you haven't really learned to say no to what you don't want to do. So I love ginger tea, and ginger, it's, sorry, the technology, right? Okay, so ginger tea is really amazing. It clears dampness and this like heavy feeling. It clears phlegm. It regulates digestion, and it's just super grounding when your earth feels out of whack. And another thing is called earthing. Have you heard of this? It's like super crazy that it has to be a thing, but in our culture where we're really not connected enough to the earth, there is all this research out. And anyway, I'm really having fun. My knees decline as an answer. So hopefully my sister will remember I'm doing this. And I'm going to tell you a little more about earth. Gardening, cooking, ginger tea, any of these like little rituals that are really nurturing for you and for your spirit and ground you, they remind you to care for yourself first. It's only from caring for ourselves that we're able to show up and care for others. And so the motto here with the earth element is like extreme self-care. And, you know, fill up your own cup, put on your oxygen mask so you can help the person next to you. So the earth element, you know, it's lovely. And after the harvest, we come into the fall, which is the metal element. And I also love the metal element. It's really helpful to, like, you know, weed out your garden and like curate what you really want to create. So the metal element is like that, it's like stone. It's like the mountains, right? It's like the preciousness of the earth. It's this like embodiment of truly being aware of the preciousness in the moment around you. Hi, Amy. Thanks for being here. The metal element is like, it's been around, it's seen it all. It's like got the secret caves in the world. It's like really connected to this like inspiration in like heavens or the divine. It's really kind of like wise. It's like been through this like harvest cycle more than once, and it's related physiology to like our lung, our large intestine, and our skin. And so we sometimes see skin stuff come up when we haven't quite figured out what it's time to let go of and what it's time to keep. And so having a healthy relationship with metal means you're able to like let go of shit that's no longer serving you, and also like receive the heavenly chi from above. So grief is related to this element, and often from grief we find inspiration, which is the strength of the metal element. And you know, I really think a strength of people that have a strong metal element is that they can really be present to the beauty and preciousness and like the magic in every moment. And like a downside or a weakness of metal types is that it can be like sharp. It can just chop that tree down. And I know I've got like my good wood element, strong wood element friend here on the live feed, and she probably knows this well. You know, metal element sometimes just is like so caught up in their connection to earth or to heaven that they can't do what needs to be taken care of on earth. And they just kind of cut down the strategy and planning. I mean, they just don't want to do that stuff. So I am really grateful that we all have all the elements within us. We all have friends that can help us see our strengths and weaknesses. And, you know, this metal element, when it's out of whack, can really feel like it's looking down on you, like it's so up in the clouds that it just is not really interested in this mundane stuff going on in our earth. And the truth is, they are disconnected. They are connected to something else, and they don't really take anything personally, so they don't notice when they're chopping down your tree, right? And the truth is, they're right on, right? That's actually the remedy to regulate some of your, you know, metal tendencies, and to work with like some of your grief and longing, is actually to take nothing personally. And I talk about taking nothing personally all the time, but I'm really not going to pretend that it's easy, right? I mean, it's just not. So it's a practice, and there are a lot of practices out there to help us think about this a little bit more, but one of them is really just breathing and connecting with your feelings, because, you know, your feelings, they just want to be felt. It's when we kind of constrict and hold our breath and don't let ourselves feel our grief or feel our anger and just let the feeling be felt and move through our body, that we like hold on to it, and we start to like judge others, and we get that sharp tongue and that, you know, looking like we think we're better than everyone else. And we've all got it in us. It's not easy to let go of things that are no longer serving us. But when we spoke about the seasons, and I mentioned like earth is the harvest, you know, you got to weed the garden after that. After you've created something, you've got to like let some things go, make room for new stuff. So a lot of the remedies for the metal element really line up with other things I've spoke to often, which is, you know, meditation, breathing, feeling your feelings. And one of my favorite ones is throw stuff out. In fact, I'm going to do more of that tonight to get ready for the course on Friday. I want to have a little better backdrop, which means I need to like clear some space, right? And Feng Shui is significant. You can just like throw stuff away, and it helps you organize your thoughts and work through your feelings, you know. That saying my grandma used to say, like, cleanliness is godliness. It's with me all the time, though. I think the more things I throw away, the more connected with my spirit and my inspiration I can be, because that is the strength of the metal element, is that they are really embodying this like ancient wisdom of our earth. They are the high mountains that are touching heaven, and they're also anchored into the earth. So you can see the earth and metal are very related, and all 5 of the elements are, and I could talk for an hour on each of them, so I will in my upcoming course called The 5 Elements, A Paradigm for True Health and Success, because I just think this like creative cycle and the psycho-spiritual stuff is like really a beautiful way to look at what's really going on in your own self-talk, in the way you're behaving in your life. And it just really gets me through the crappy days, honestly. And it got me here to putting this out online, and all your feedback's been amazing. So tomorrow I'm going to meet you back here on Facebook Live at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to talk one more time about courage and fear and the water element. And the earlier replays are also on this Facebook page, Naturally Jess, San Francisco acupuncturist. And the webpage to find out more about the course is also naturallyjess.com. So I am so grateful that I got over my fear and came on Facebook Live, and for all your feedback and comments and sharing and likes and just listening to my rambling. I'm so excited that some of you showed up today. Thank you. I miss you both. All right, if you have any questions, post them in the chat or shoot me a message, and have a beautiful day. Go throw some stuff away. It's a really good time to throw stuff away right before the new moon, right? Because the new moon is Friday, and that's when things start again. So go throw some junk away. Give it to the people in need or someone that will really enjoy it. Okay. Love you. Thank you.